The healing force is in the patient. When you walk through my front door, you already have everything in your body that you need to be healthy.
Our mission is to save lives. Our mission is to help as many people in our community, in our town, not just in Fayetteville, but in Rogers, in all of Northwest Arkansas.
Chiropractic uses very gentle force. We respect the power that made the body, and we work with that power to heal the body.
I want to talk a little bit about how we get sick. There are 3 reasons only, and as our patients, you guys should know the answer to this. Chemical stress. Chemical stress could be a Tylenol, could be an aspirin, could be the aspirin you take every day in order not to have a heart attack. Chemical stress is the food we eat. If we consume a typical American diet, not super unhealthy, we get about 14 pounds of additives into our systems every year. 14 pounds is how much I need to lose after having the baby still. And let me tell you, it's a lot of weight to me. So 14 pounds of chemicals. And we have an answer to that in here. There is a way of getting those chemicals out of your body, and everybody should be doing it. We have a way of teaching you how to eat healthier. That's one of the easiest things you can do every day. Just eat some fruits and vegetables. It's not hard. The other reason we get sick is physical stress. Physical stress is, for example, a car accident. I look around and I see a lot of our patients that have been in car accidents. Physical stress can also be a baby being born. A baby being born in an American hospital today typically doesn't come into the world naturally, right? The mom gets Pitocin, we hurry up the labor. We typically, almost 50% of the time now, perform C-sections, which is a major stress for that baby, and we use epidurals almost 100% of the time. So our babies do not come into the world naturally. And then we have emotional stress. Emotional stress is largely ignored in the medical world. They have psychologists, and that's an entity on itself, where you go, and typically what does a psychiatrist, a psychologist do when you are depressed? Medicine. Since 1997, our pain medication and antidepressant use has increased 88%. I tell you guys, especially among our female patients, when they come in, I would say at least 50 to 60% of them use medications when they walk in here. And we are not healthy. We're not by far the healthiest nation in the world. So chemical, physical, emotional stress, those are the reasons.
I was told I had stage 3C ovarian cancer, and I went the normal route of doctors, surgery, complete hysterectomy, 8 months of heavy chemotherapy, lost my hair, the whole works. I went to the hospital, and after all the MRIs and everything, found out I had a disc pressing on a nerve plus bursitis. So I stayed in bed for a time. I was on a walker. And I was in bed, and a friend called. When I got up, I was on a walker. You know, I could not walk.
And I had herniated 2 discs in the mid-90s and was in excruciating pain all the time. And I couldn't even get up from the church pew. My husband would have to help me stand up when it was time to sing, and I was in terrible shape. I was having terrible headaches, so bad they thought I had a brain tumor and did an MRI.
I had tore the ACLs in my knee. I didn't have any insurance. They were told it was going to cost between $40,000 to $60,000 to get my knee operated on. I didn't have that kind of money, couldn't do it.
I was having neck pain. It was just excruciating. Couldn't get out of bed one morning and couldn't move. I mean, just miserable. And when they finally sent me to the neurosurgeon, I was begging him to do surgery. I'm like, I'm done. I can't live with this pain anymore. I'm too young to feel this way.
All of a sudden, I was extremely sick, with losing tons of weight, diarrhea, you know, all that gross stuff.
I had chronic back pain. I've not been able to exercise. If I tried, my My muscles would cramp.
On the new films, it showed that I had a very large mass, and which turned out to be malignant ovarian cancer.
So I finally go to a doctor, and it turns out that I've got ulcerative colitis. If anyone knows what that is, inflammation of the colon.
Back injuries were so severe that I had to use a heat pad, a crystal type heat pad that you put in a microwave oven anywhere from 8 to 10 times a day.
I had a terrific pressure headache, so bad that I had to call and get someone to drive me here because I was just in such pain.
I got to the point where I couldn't even get out of bed by myself. My husband had to help me out of bed.
My passion and love is canoeing, and I realized I couldn't get on my knee because the pain would send me straight to my back. It was just unbearable.
Came in with a whole bunch of emotional baggage. We have been through several things with our teenage, older children, and that I had already been through for 7.5 years. So I had 7.5 years of emotional baggage just hanging all over me.
I was wearing a knee brace. I couldn't walk without the knee brace. So all of a sudden I'm realizing the things that I enjoy most in life, I can't do anymore.
I had an 8 to 13% chance of survival after 5 years, so I wasn't sure I'd even be around.
I was 25 years old. I had stomach ulcers that were really serious. I had kidney stones. I had migraines. I was a widow at the time with 2 little children, and my prospects were not good.
So I went to a doctor for I don't know how long, and it was terrible going to a doctor and getting medicine.
They scheduled me to go in, and they were going to teach me to accept my pain and deal with it.
And they had told me I would never be able to lift anything more than a gallon of milk for the rest of my life.
They sent me to pain management, the neurosurgeon did, to get a spinal shot.
The medicine that they first put me on stopped working, and I had to get checked up, for another kind of medicine. So
they were going to stick this needle in my back and inject this stuff that was supposed to deaden my back so I wouldn't feel the pain.
And he said if we replace this disc in 10 years, the one above it or below it will probably go, and it's just going to get worse and you won't be able to turn your neck.
And they just more or less told me if I didn't have back surgery, I was going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. And I didn't like that answer either.
All the doctors are like, oh, you're going to have to be on medicine for the rest of your life. You're going to have part of your colon removed.
And they handed me a form to sign that said that if they slipped and I was paralyzed for life, that they weren't responsible.